Good morning. Welcome to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman Bergeron here in the southwestern coast of Maine in the U.S. It's a very windy day. We've been experiencing lots of winds, and yesterday we had snow while the sun was shining. So, all kinds of things are changing weather patterns, the way we engage with each other, how we're feeling. And Mother Earth, with yesterday being Earth Day, reminded us that we need to continue to focus on being part of this whole Earth resonance with our aligning of our own heart resonance with that resonance that we could call it heart resonance of Mother Earth. So, with all of that brief introduction today, today's talk is changing within, or it's had several titles this morning, but it's definitely about changes. So that is the main thing here is the changes, and I invite you all to just take a deep breath and know that hopefully I am live. I'm not seeing anyone coming in, but sometimes this all changes and I never know what's happening. So hopefully I am live. And blessings to each of you around the world. This beautiful planet, our home, Mother Earth. Wow. So as we gather this morning, it's important for all of us to remember that we are one energy field. And we call that humanity. On the energy field of humanity is not just our physicality, that we have a unique energetic blueprint here on planet Earth, just as animals have a unique energetic blueprint. The trees have a unique energetic blueprint. All of this has to do with energy and the shifting of energy as we evolve. And I keep coming back to the word evolution because that's the only thing that I can use that allows my brain to be comfortable with it. I could think of a whole lot of other words to use in that place. However, I want to see the expansion, the moving forward, the energy of, I'm going to use the word promise, the energy of promising that there's something more for us to become aware of and to tap into and understand. And so, with that said, life energies arise from everywhere. And everything outside of us is really just a catalyst for what is going on inside of us. And what's important right now as we look around the world and we see so much pain and suffering and uh, pain and suffering. whether it's through illness or whether it's through violence or whether it's through just frustration. We don't necessarily have to understand why all of it's happening, but we do have to understand that we have a responsible action in all of this, that each one of us has the ability to focus on energy, our own energy, and to change what we can within us so that it aligns with the greater whole around us. I can't see anybody in the sidelines here, so I'm just going to have to wing it at this point. And bless you all. I do like to read what you're saying, and I don't understand why I'm not seeing that, but that's okay. Um, it does say that I'm alive. Oh, wait a minute. Here, they moved it. Silly me. It's usually over here on the left, and now it's on the right. Ah, Facebook, I love you. I'll catch up with you eventually and understand you. uh, maybe not. And maybe I shouldn't have to. So, yes, good morning, Grace. Good morning, Terry, Nicoletta, Christy, Brian, Melissa, Victoria. Bless you all. I see you now. That makes me feel much more um, uh, aligned. Again, it's about the energies and it's about aligning our energies. And when the world around us is in this chaotic flux, it's very easy for all of us to get sucked out into that and become just as imbalanced and unstable as it is. And that's what I want everybody to remember this week. And I want everybody to look at this week within their own presence is where am I out of balance? Where am I getting pulled out of sync with myself? Where is the line between who I am and my energy field and the energy field around me? So as many of you know, I work with energies and I work with energy grids, and I, have this beautiful guidance team that helped me to understand what my part in it is. I don't understand what it is entirely that I'm doing, but it's really about connecting. It's connecting points on the earth and connecting people to people and connecting people to themselves. And it's all about this connection, this all of these sort of nerves that have been cut, bringing them back together and making it whole again. And the word whole, WHOL, not the HOL that we fall into. So what is wholeness for us in regards to changing within? What we realize is that we've been living in a great falsity, and we've been living in a great falsity for thousands and thousands of years. And it wasn't always that way, but that's what's happened. We have become uh, sort of taken over by the energies in many ways, and diluted by the energies, and then led by people who learned how to control the energies and direct them in order to have us focus in a collective energetic pattern in alignment with what their thoughts or their projection was. And when we did that, we gave up our own sovereignty. We gave up our own ability to discern, wait a minute, that doesn't feel right. Wait a minute, that's making my skin crawl. Wait a minute, that doesn't feel comfortable. We no longer trusted our own energy fields, and we relied and gave our power away to a collective energy field, which is, as you can see in the world today, run amok. And it's not to say that it's not going to change. It is changing. It's changing right now. Although what we see physically and what we're feeling physically is that energy changing, and that's chaotic. It's supercharged. So we have to come back and trust within us. And what do we trust within us? if we can't trust the brain that's been easy to program, that's been easy to direct, that's been easy to feed information, which is energy, to make it follow certain patterns of behavior. When we look at the world, we realize that behavior is really it's like an animal. We're like animals. We're living like animals, many of us. And why are we choosing to do that? Why is our behavior not getting better? It's actually backsliding into some um, primal survival mode. And when we look at the word evolution, it means to, evolve from one to a more inclined, higher or better state of being. And right now, it doesn't feel like that. At least it doesn't feel like that to me. And it's not only going on around me in the world around me, but it's going on within my own brain. And I say this because people get tired of me when I try to explain that there are certain things I can no longer do because my brain is working at a different frequency. And I can't explain that to anybody. And I'm not bad mouthing myself or my brain or my, physicality. I'm doing my best not to go into fear over it. But what I'm realizing is this shifting and changing that we're all going through is is appearing in many different people in many different ways. And what I want everybody to understand today is that changing within can be very, very uncomfortable, but you are okay. I want you to know that you are going through a process, an energetic, um, maybe it's a decontamination. I don't know. That's what that's the word just came through now is a decontamination. We're getting rid of all of this energy that is distorted, all of this energy that's not balanced, all of this energy that we've taken on innocently without understanding the greater power it has as an effect on the whole world. So, yesterday being uh, Earth Day, I mean, if you look around, if you go in the woods, how many dead trees are you seeing? How barren land where it's been just clear cut? How are you looking at the water that may be polluted, that may have a smell or an odor to it? How are you looking at all of the distortion in the world in on Mother Earth? And when we embrace the beauty, the flowers, the crystal clear water, the clean air that we're probably in, the healthy trees, in the same package is all of this that we are feeling within us. And so when we look at those things that, that devastation, and that's the word that I'm going to use is that devastation, we also feel devastated inside in many ways. When we look at children being murdered, when we look at children being hungry, when we look at people just being homeless, when we have leadership in countries where sacrificing human life for their rules and regulations has total disregard for humanity and life whatsoever. They're not concerned. And so again, this is how they're reacting without concern. They're only concerned about maintaining their envelope, their package, because that's what they understand. So each of us need to now come back into this package, this human body, and start to look around in there and say, what is out of alignment? What is not working? What is, maybe I've been doing this for 40 years, but it doesn't serve any purpose anymore. And not judge it as good or bad, but realize that it's time for change. It's the energy changing. the energy is no longer supporting that thinking. The energy is no longer supporting that action. And without judgment, let us release it. Release it with love. Release and say, I don't need you anymore. I don't have to be here and do this anymore. I need to find what is nurturing my new energy. And this is what we're all going through. And I know each and every one of you have your own stories. And as Emily's asking, how do I let go of crippling fear and anxiety? There's no magic wand. You let go. You say, this no longer serves me. This only serves the self that I thought I have been, the self that I thought I needed to be in order to be something for somebody else. Who am I inside? And when we come back and look and say, who am I? Why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? And we realize that we're out of sync with our hearts, then we can begin to let go of the fear and the anxiety, because those are just energies. The fear and anxiety is just an energy frequency. And the more we learn to identify who we are in all of this field of chaos, for lack of better terms, but then we can look and say, I no longer need to fear that. Yes, I should be consciously aware of it and not, do something that's going to just have everything collapse on me. But I know that this feeling of fear, this feeling of anxiety no longer serves who I am, who I truly am as a being of energy, as an energetic field. And it doesn't mean we're not going to be, human. Doesn't mean we're not still going to have this, but we're going to come back into a better and deeper relationship of caring for others. How do we care for others if we can't care for ourselves? It sounds, everybody, well, that sounds selfish, blah, blah, blah. It's not selfish. If I can't take care of me, if I can't fulfill my needs and my emotional, my energy emotion package, what am I going to do for someone else? What would my coming on here and talking to you be worth? I'd be doing it for the money, or I'd be doing it for the ego or the fame. I don't come here for those reasons. This was a gift. I didn't plan to do this at all. Years ago, I had a friend who called me and had a radio show and said, would you want to come on and talk with me? We'll just talk. And that's how it began. And now, thanks to Humanity Healing, this one Friday mornings, I have this space where I just come and I talk. I just share with you what's coming through me, not because I want to be your teacher or I want to be your guru, but just to allow you to realize that each one of us are going through this. We're not alone. We're a collective energy field. And when you discharge something in an energy field, and I'm thinking of a nuclear bomb, which is not a pretty thing, but when you release a nuclear bomb, that energy field destroys everything in the other energy field. It doesn't have any mercy. It doesn't have any kindness. It doesn't have any caring. It doesn't have any thought. Nothing. It is just pure energy exploding and wiping out whatever is around it. This is what fear and anxiety do within us. So I understand, Emily, what fear and anxiety are. I have moments of that myself. There's nobody that really can escape it entirely, but what we can learn to do with that energy is to embrace that we are more powerful than fear and energy. Grace, good morning, Grace. I love you, dear heart. I don't have my my Global Heart team on this morning. I thought about it, but bless you. Grace here is the founder of the Global Heart team. Thank you for being with us. And she's saying one way to reduce fear is to be fully present in the moment and reassure yourself that you are safe in this present moment. Beautiful words and a beautiful message for all of us is to know that the energy we are is safe. It's not something we need to fear. And that's what's happened. We're beginning to fear ourselves. We're beginning to fear our own thinking patterns instead of tapping from in here, back here into the heart. This is the energy field. This is the generator right here. If you tap into your heart, just drop your head, get out of your head, come back into your heart. Feel the pulse in your body. Feel the heart beating. That's the energy that you are. And we call that love. And when you come back into that energy we call love, everything changes. Can you love and send your love to everything? No exceptions. No exceptions at all. Send love. This is where we're headed. This is the changing of the energies. This is what Mother Earth is doing. Putting on the Christ. Wayne, you're always having something profound to say. Putting on the Christ. So what is the Christ? The Christ is love. And that's, exactly what we need to do right now is to embrace that changing within. And that's what we're doing. I'm going to use transforming rather than transmuting. Right now, we're in the stages of transformation. We're in stages of becoming aware of the lack of love we have. We're becoming aware of our judgment of others, whether they be children who are sexually, they're changing their sexual roles. I don't like the word sexual, but masculine, feminine energies. They're choosing to align with their feminine energies rather than their masculine energy. But this is how the world has entrained us, that this is wrong, that this is the same thing with how do you attack a child who is damaged to begin with? How do you the big case of the police. How do you murder somebody in cold blood and honor the position that you're holding? How do you rule a country and inspire anger and pain and suffering in people to judge each other? That's the external. That's what's happening out there. That's the full expression. What we're seeing is the full expression of what's going on within us. And this is part of why we have to change. We have to change to come back to say, what is the best way? What is the way with the most grace and ease? We weren't put here to suffer. And yet we have teachings that tell us that. You were here to suffer. You were here to be, blah, blah, blah. What kind of a creator being is that creates you an existence in which you suffer? That's a sick creator as far as I'm concerned. That's not the being that created me, if there is a being, whatever you want to call it. We are that being. We're not just human beings. We're a collective of energy, the energy of that source of creation. We're the ones that have put the labels on it. We're the ones who have pounded it into the brains of each generation. We're the ones who have killed each other in the name of God. I say that with very deep, painful emphasis. What does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. And that's what we're doing. We're awakening. This changing within is coming back into realizing all of the things that all of humanity has done, and not feeling guilty about it, but saying, right now, Charlie Riverman Bergeron, have an opportunity to change that. And I can change that by changing the energy within me, by allowing the positive flow, the energy of the positive, powerful flow of creation, which is love, to flow through me and touch others. I often say, it's like being Johnny Appleseed. You just can't plant seeds. And I know Grace will get a kick out of this too, because we have these little seeds of love that, they're little hearts. And the message is plant them. We never know who might find one or might look at that and it might change their life. So I want all of you to come back to not fearing and not having anxiety with those changes within, whether they're within your physical body, whether they're in your brain or your thinking patterns, whether they're in your relationship with your family and your loved ones, whether they are a relationship with your fellow employees or wherever you are. Know that the energy is there to make you aware, of where there is discord, make you aware of how easy it is to slip out of that place of wholeness, out of that place of loving kindness, out of that place where Mother Earth, what we celebrated yesterday, her abundance, her benevolence has been destroyed and taken away. Well, just what's happened to Mother Earth over millions of years of human existence has happened to us. And I say millions of years because just the other day they realized, this is not new news, but they release stuff now. But a part of, our genetics is over millions of years old in Neanderthal beings. And it's that same gene code that they're now manipulating in order to try to find solutions for us to heal, which is a positive thing. But what we need to address is, who are we right now? What are we right now? And how can we regain our sovereignty and say, I'm not choosing this because somebody else is going to work on it and make it easy for me. I'm going to change this because I want to know how beautiful and how powerful I truly am. It isn't up to them. This is what we've done. We've given our power away. It's their problem. Their problem. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't. Every time we say that, what are we doing? We're stuffing our energy in this container, this tiny container, and then we start to protect it and hoard it, and we only let a little bit out here and a little bit out there. And that's what we're experiencing right now. I want each and every one of you to take a deep breath and relax, because I know I'm wired up. I haven't even had a cup of coffee yet. I just started one. And relax into who you are, knowing that your presence is important. And even if you don't know who it's important to, It's just your energetic presence in a balanced and calm manner that will change everything. And yes, that will rise, we will get excited, but always come back home. Come back home to your heart, to that place where there should be stillness, that place where the energy flows, pumps through your veins, it pumps out into the auric field around you, where you can remember that you are alive. You're not just energy, you are a living being. And that life is precious. And the life in everyone around you is just as precious as yours, no matter how much you disagree with them, no matter how much you don't like what they're doing. And know that we have to come back into our own energy field and radiate that beauty, that power, that light, that sovereignty, that connection to each other. So even when others do us wrong, yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it changes your life. But know that in order for them to do that to us, what must they be doing to themselves? They're in greater suffering than we are. If people can reach out and attack others, not in defense of their lives, not in a moment where it's needed, we're in trouble. And each one of us have the power to bring that trouble to a halt. And it's all about changing within. Doesn't matter how we express it. Even sitting in your living room, you can send love anywhere in the world. Anywhere and to anyone. And the key is that as we do that, we create an open space within us for more of that to come in. And as that new love, that new awareness, that new resonance, that heart resonance builds and builds and builds and builds, and our hearts are no longer this small, they're this big. And yes, we may walk down the street and somebody say, "You got the kind of face I want to punch," and punch you in the face. I know that because it happened to me. And why? Because I was happy. I was filled with love. In that moment, I was radiant. And so I look at that now in this age and realize that that's how powerful I was as a child. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to have that happen to them, but just to explain the power of that field of love. And for everybody to nurture themselves and come back into that presence. And Wayne's chakra work, yes, work through your chakras, your energy fields, keep them clean, meditate, chant, sing. There are many, many, many ways that, and many teachings over thousands of years that tell us how to do this. Michael's saying, see something, say something, be brave, do the right thing, do unto others. Do unto others. It's a real simple, as you would have them do unto you. And realize that we are all each other. There's no real separation amongst any of us. Only our eyes see the separation. Only our fields of physical touch. You're 30 feet away. I can't touch you physically, but 30 feet away, I can send you love. And that's what we're here for. We're here to ride this wave of change and to not fear what we see happening around us, because that's what we look at as an insurmountable force of chaos. And believe me, if chaos was insurmountable, we wouldn't be having this conversation, would we? We wouldn't have evolved from a very primal species of physicality. We wouldn't have been able to enter into that physicality and bring it to where it is now. Let's not stop. This is not where we stop. This is that path around the rock when it ends. It didn't end. It kept going. And it's still going. And we are it. We just haven't seen ourselves yet. We haven't seen the true self, the beautiful, powerful beings that we really are. The peace, the light, and the love. So I thank you all this morning for being here, for tuning in to, hopefully it was a pep talk. I never know what's going to happen. I write my show notes and sometimes I avoid them completely. And my show notes were just to prime me to share with you my heart. And that's the joy I get from being here, is being able to speak to people that I can't see, people that I may never meet, some I have met and know. I know that we're here together. We're here together to love and embrace each other and make this all work. We can do this, each one of us, with every hug, with every blessing, with every kind thought, kind action. And this is what all the great teachers have always told us. Doesn't matter which one you choose to, or whose teachings you follow. They've all said the same thing. So it's up to us in this new energy field to meet the changes within us full on. Don't turn back. Know that you have more power in the light that you are than the darkness that's before you. Bless you all. Thank you all. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. We are unity. That's not an idle statement. I just sent that to a 4-year-old to start practicing saying it to his water. Say it to everyone. But firstly, say it to yourself. Have a great week. I hope that everybody is well, and I send you my love and my kindness, and bless you all. We'll be here again next Friday. I talk about my crew here, my angelic beings, and thank you all for tuning in, and I hope that You don't have to listen or believe everything that I say, but take those parts of what I did say and bring through that resonated with you, even if it was only 3 words, and try to remember them during the week. Bless you all. You have a great day, great week, and we're here together. We're going to do it. We're not going to be diminished, and we are going to succeed because we are loving, caring energy fields. Bless you all, and thank you for being here. And now I got to figure out how to get out of here. Okay. Oh, it's so the end is down over here. Okay. So they just rearranged the page, and old people like me, you can't move the furniture because we'll trip and fall. Love you. Bye bye.